All right, here we go. I love Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna leave it at that. He one of my guys. But this season, we gotta tell the truth about it. We gotta be honest about it. Two of his most starts detractors or naysayers, or I don't know, whatever you want to call them. They're hard on the boy, okay? However you want to put it. And it's funny because Sharpe won a Super Bowl with the Ravens, so you think he give a little leeway. It's either love or something else. I ain't gonna call it hate. It's sometimes it's tough love. Maybe that's what it is. But him and Magdal Russo, they get them on often and always, and they let them have it with both barrels, to be honest with you. So what we're going to do today, okay, is we're going to hear what they have to say. All right? If I blow the whistle and jump on in, that means I'm calling foul. If I don't blow the whistle, then it's all fair game. All right? But let's be honest about it. Let's hear what they have to say, and we'll take it from there.
I don't know how anybody can sit there and watch Lamar, who's lost 3 home playoff games, 2 in front of postseason, and he was bad. He was bad against the Chiefs. And he got outplayed by Mahomes, who sits there and says, well, he's had a great year. Well, MVP, he gets judged by different levels.
He does.
You have to win. He's making 40, 50 million a year. You got to win a Super Bowl. You got to get to a Super Bowl. He had a home field advantage. He was the number 1 seed second time. And he gets knocked off and was bad in the game. And we're going to sit there and say he had a great year? I don't care about awards.
Well, this is the first year he really had all the pieces, though.
Makes it worse.
No, I'm saying so this year it's fair. For criticism in the past, we could argue.
They lost to Tennessee at home.
They went down 14-0 in that game and had 7 drops.
How many turnovers did he have? You see what?
Okay, other thing. Nobody has the turn up of Shannon Sharpe. When Shannon Sharpe starts talking, boy, the funny thing about it, he seemed like he on the verge of putting his hands on you. Shannon Sharpe acted like he this close to putting his hands on you. Especially when he's super passionate about whatever it is. That's what makes it absolutely hilarious. Let me back it up. But Shannon Sharpe, when he starts talking, man, it looked like he ready to fight. Let's go.
You see what happens, what we're doing, Dog? Every time when the Ravens win, Lamar was sensational. But when he loses, it's Greg Roman. When he loses, it's Todd Monken. When he loses, Zay Flowers should have done this. But what about the pick? What about the pick?
Flowers, listen. A lot. You could have done. You did some great things. I ain't gonna jump all the way on you, bruh. But the things you did bad, boy, did you do bad. I mean, bad. Man, you could have been the savior. That's all I'm going to tell you. You could have been the savior. All right, let's go.
Pick. What about the pick in the triple coverage? What
Bad
about the
decision.
Zay Flowers should have done this. But what about the pick? What about the pick in the triple coverage? What
Bad
about the
decision. Bad decision by Lamar.
Okay, then say that.
Shannon, that is not the reason they lost that football game.
Okay,
that singular play.
That could have been a reason they won.
Okay, but I can point to so many different things that are more. They lost the AFC title game because their game plan. They didn't lose their AFC title game because of the way Lamar played.
So was that the game plan that Lamar fumbled? Was that the game plan that he threw a bad pick? Was that the game plan that Zay Flowers fumbled?
No, you know that's all in attack.
Is that the game plan that Lamar fumbled? Come on, Shannon. Come on, man. You pulled that one out the dirt. Is that the playing game that Lamar fumbled? No, come on. That's a little OD right there. I understand your point, but come on, man. That one's on the line right there. Let's go.
That's to the outcome of the game.
It's always been attached, but we use a different metric because we like Lamar and we want to escape a criticism of being critical of Lamar. It's okay. It's okay, Dio, to say Lamar didn't play well in the AFC Championship.
He did not play well in the AFC Championship.
That's not what you said. You said it was the game plan. But you say game plan first, then Lamar didn't play well.
That's right. Because it's hard for a quarterback to play well when the game plan is poor.
So, let me tell you what
this is where Dan's wrong. Okay, you got to overcome some things as a quarterback. Okay? If the game plan is wrong, then you got to fix it. That's one thing about Tom. When Tom was in there, if they called something in that Tom didn't think was going to work or like, Tom handled it. Tom made the calls that needed to be made on the field. One thing about it, when you ask for that amount of money, you are supposed to be an X factor in the situation. You are telling your team you don't need as much on the outside because you got me. You don't need to have all these great receivers. You don't need to have all these great tight ends. You don't have to have a super this, super that when you are asking for that amount of money. When you're asking for that amount of money, you're saying I'm the X factor. I'm the reason we are going to win. I'm going to make sure I make moves and do things to put us over the top. And what's really elevated that idea of thinking is Patrick Mahomes. Okay? Patrick Mahomes had a hard way to go. I'm not trying to make this the Pat Mahomes story when we're talking about Lamar, but you have to overcome some things. You have to have not the cream of the crop, like Tom, like Pat, and you're the X factor that puts your team over the top. You don't get to cry about game plans. If the game plan ain't working, you need to figure out on the field what is working, and you don't get to run from that. So, Dan, out of here with that, champ. Out of here with that.
Great ones can do. The great ones have always been able to play above X's and O's. Now, name me the great quarterback that hasn't been able to play above the X's and O's. From Tom Brady to Peyton.
Dan Orlovsky close to our ass whooping. You name me the quarterback that ain't overcome X's and O's. Dad had to walk you to your car. Dad definitely had to walk you to your car. Look at Shannon. Look at Shay. Calm down, homeboy. Every time I move it on Shay, he ready to go. Let's play this. Let's go.
When the game plan is poor.
So, let me tell you what the great ones can do. The great ones have always been able to play above X's and O's. Now, name me the great quarterback that hasn't been able to play above the X's and O's. From Tom Brady to Peyton Manning to John Elway to all the Patrick Mahomes. So every time the great ones have won, it's been an ideal game plan.
Peyton Manning a great quarterback?
Yes.
And Lamar Jackson a great quarterback.
When they played in Seattle in the Super Bowl, was it Peyton Manning or was it because they got
Peyton
skunked?
Manning didn't play well.
But it wasn't because they got skunked by a team.
He didn't
you
play
came
well,
on this
Dan.
segment. I
Fair
know.
Dogg.
Here's how you judge this with these quarterbacks. You got a game to win for your life. I'm taking Matthew Stafford over Lamar. I'll tell you right now, not even an issue. You see the way Stafford played against the Lions when he got his rear end beat and he went in 60 yards? You see when he played against the freaking
You
Bengals?
ain't got to tell
when he
anybody
won?
about Stafford. I mean,
Well, you're a Stafford fan. So that leaves me Stafford. I know Burrow's better. I know Allen's better. I know Mahomes is better. And I'm taking Rodgers. You want to count him? Because I think he's still going to be better when he plays next year.
No,
Yeah,
I would not take Rodgers.
You're not taking that?
I would not take Rodgers because I've seen him in playoff lose to Jimmy G.
That's fair.
I've seen him lose playoff game after playoff game
Back
at
to back.
home.
But he's won a Super Bowl.
But is
He's
the
won a Super
question
Bowl.
for the playoffs, like for one game, or just as the player in and of itself? What are you asking me?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
I just want to know where you had it.
Marlon, can I ask you this?
Go ahead.
If I take Patrick Mahomes and I put him on Baltimore, is Baltimore in the Super Bowl? Yes or no?
Yes.
That is not foul. I give Shannon props with the mic drop. That was a mic drop. He's right. And let me go ahead and tell you how I feel about Lamar's season. Lamar had a great season. Outstanding season. But you don't want to become what Peyton Manning became. Where everybody's like, oh yeah, he's the regular season, he's the best player in the regular season all the time, outstanding in the regular season. And when you get to the postseason, you up out of there. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. That gets old. Nobody. Oh, we made it. You know, we were 17-0. At the end of the day, who cares if you don't win the chip or you don't make it at least to the Super Bowl? Okay. So to be honest about Lamar's season, did he deserve the MVP? No question. Outstanding. He deserved the MVP. But the performance in the playoffs, terrible. Terrible. And you can't do that. You can't at this level where you are, the money you got to stand on that, champ. Okay? You don't get to ask for that amount of money and then come back with excuses. You got to make it happen. And I'm not saying it like Shannon and Mad Dog, like, oh, Lamar, I know what the man can do. Listen, nobody wanted a Baltimore-Detroit Super Bowl more than me. You know what I mean? I'm thinking of meat coats of cognac and Black and Miles all up in the stadium. I was looking forward to it. We didn't get that. We got this because it came up short. And coming up short at that price tag, Lamar, unacceptable. You have to be the X factor. You have to be the reason that team makes it over the hump. Okay? You have to eliminate the mistakes, the throwing in that pass to Likely. That was likely to not get caught. That's what it was. The fumble, can't have it. You got to protect that ball. And you got to be what your team needs you to be. If it's time to run, it's time to run. You don't have anything to prove by staying in the pocket. You don't have nothing to prove. You prove it by winning. By winning by all means. But whatever metrics it takes to win, do that. But I think there was a bit more of, I'm going to stand here and throw the ball and not run all over the place. Nah. I understand it in the regular season because you ended up hurt. I get it. I'm going to pull back on the running in the regular season because that's why I didn't make it to the postseason healthy. Okay, we're in the postseason now, champ. Go all out. So hopefully this is the learning curve. I hope this isn't a dissension the other way for Lamar and the Ravens. I hope they take this to another level. But regular season, outstanding. Postseason, total failure. Can't have it. Not at that price tag. You have to be that X factor. It's your job. All right? We out.